Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah. Wassalatu wassalam ala khatimil anbiya. In a very important hadith that relates with Ramadan, it is said, whoever fasted in Ramadan with iman and ihtisab or accountability, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shall forgive all his past sins. The hadith is a bit long, but I'll focus only on this first part of hadith. When the word iman is used in the Quran, it refers to not only what we call as faith, but essentially as conviction. One is convinced about it, sure about it, witness to it. And to be witness to iman means that this inner feeling of trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, believing in his authority and power, has to be expressed by one's behavior. Therefore, iman and amal cannot be separated. They are not two separate aspects, but two dimensions of one and same coin. In the hadith, it is said that whoever fasted in the month of Ramadan with iman and ihtisab, with conviction that whatever is being done is only for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and secondly, by trying to have accountability. This accountability refers to various things. Am I fulfilling obligations toward my own self, towards my family, towards society? The Prophet, peace be upon him, came to know that one of his companions was trying to purify himself, become a very pious person by doing extra ibadat, extra worship. And that was Abdullah bin Amr bin al-As. He invited him and asked him, Abdullah, whatever I have heard about you, is that correct? He said, yes, sir. The Prophet told him in a very polite, loving and wise manner, your eyes have a right on you. Your body has a right on you. Your wife has a right on you. If we look into only these three simple statements, it tells us that Islam is so natural, so simple, so direct. You don't need a theology to explain Islam. But the three simple statements, your eyes have a right that you must sleep some part of night. Your body has a right that you must nourish it, and your wife has a right on you, means you should not become a monk. Monkhood is totally prohibited in Islam. A person who leaves his family in a desire to discover ultimate truth in forest, in caves, in rivers and valleys is not a totally human being. Total human being means that he should or she should observe rights of his eyes or her eyes and take rest during part of night and nourish the body, and at the same time have human relationships, live a family life and fulfill family obligations. Therefore, in Islam, to live married life is not something material, something people call pleasure seeking, something which is just enjoying sex relationship, but it's a matter of fulfillment of iman. A hadith says that when you may do nikah, you complete your iman. Here, coming back to the hadith, Prophet has advised Abdullah ibn Amr al-As three things, and that relate with ihtisab. ihtisab of oneself. Am I fair with my eyes? For example, if a person sleeps every day 10 hours out of 24 hours, is this person doing adl or doing fair treatment to his eyes? Even medical tests show us that maximum you need is about 6-7 hours, and if someone sleeps 10 hours, is that fair? Ihtisab means taking account of my sleep. Same if medical clinical studies tell us that a person needs X number of calories to survive, and I have 5 times X calories, or I have 1/3 or 1/4 calories, am I fair to myself? Therefore, you will find that some young people obsessed with the psyche of weight losing and appearing smart and slim would like to just drink hot water with some lemon in it throughout the week, and when the weekend comes, they go with their friends and have a half-pounder burger and a quarter-pounder cheesecake. Is that balance? Is that moderation that Islam wants? Or Islam wants you to enjoy some cheesecake, but not that much, and a burger not which is just without nutrition, but perhaps natural food which is much more nutritious. Therefore, when we say Ramadan with accountability, it means that every single aspect of our life is properly examined. We examine how much time we are utilizing for creative activity, which is the core of life. How much time we are wasting in oversleeping, which could be utilized for creative activity. How much food we are consuming for ourselves, which is unnecessary, adding fat, while in this community of human beings, whether in Africa or Asia or anywhere else, even in the so-called developed countries, you just walk 1 block away from the biggest stock markets of Western cities, and 1 block down you will find people sitting on a sidewalk, on some steps, on a floor, and asking for a few pennies. Poverty, hunger, disease exist everywhere in the world. Have we ever taken an account of how much we invest in our own selves, in food, in dress, in luxuries, and how much we can save out of it for others? Have we ever tried to take account of how much water we are wasting and how much we are consuming and how much we are making available to others? If I can take a shower in less than 5 minutes and I am there for 35 minutes, if I can have my car washed with a bucket of water and I am having a hose of water used to wash my car, am I doing it ethically and properly? Is it waste? Is it not extravagance? Is it not going beyond my limits? The Quran says Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not like people who go over and above what is supposed to do. Therefore, asraf, doing things excessively, is haram. But we never think about it. Month of fasting is meant for this purpose, that we live with iman and ihtisab. Therefore, the 2 beginning words of the hadith give us the gist and tell us what's the purpose of fasting. One major objective is to awaken this sense of accountability in everything. Whatever we are watching, whatever we are listening, whatever we are doing, whatever we are planning, is that purposeful? Can we defend it with honesty and fairness in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? And when He says, I gave you health, What did you use your health for? To mug people, to bully them, or to protect those who are poor and weak? I gave you wealth. Did you use it to buy every year a new brand of car so you can tell your friends, I always drive latest model of car? Or you thought those who are walking on feet full of dust, give them slippers if not shoes? Do we have any sense of accountability about children who are around? How many of children in a country get full nutritious food a day, and how many of them are starving? And how many of us who go out on the evening of Ramadan to breakfast in a 5-star hotel where they pay for one single iftar what is enough for 2 months food for a whole family of 6 or 7 persons? Is that fair? Therefore, when the hadith says imanan wa ihtisaban, it's reminding us that for all those things which you do every day without knowing, now examine yourself. Become your own judge. Evaluate yourself and ask yourself, are you fair? Are you just? Are you observing taqwa? Are you becoming muttaqi? Or despite fasting for the whole day, you are losing this opportunity. Hadith tells very clearly, if you are fasting and you are telling lies, if you are fasting and you have enmity and hate in your heart, if you are fasting and you are giving trouble to people around you, then Allah does not desire to keep you hungry. Allah provides plenty of food to everyone. He is not keen to see people hungry. The reason He wants us to face this situation is so we know how people who have no resources live their life, to develop sense of accountability. Therefore, Ramadan, or the month of fasting, provides us a noble opportunity to reawaken ourselves sense of accountability, and once we have it, we cannot have undercover bribes, we cannot have corruption, we cannot have waste of resources, we cannot have people who are not sensitive towards the need of others. Therefore, fasting becomes a training program for reorientation, changing our vision, making us more sensitive to needs of society, more involved, more helpful, and ultimately create a world where Muslims become model behavior for rest of humanity. Islam essentially is a matter of that message which is conveyed by our behavior and practice, not by the word of mouth, but our behavior. And Ramadan and the month of fasting particularly is designed for this purpose. So each believer becomes a role model for rest of mankind, for his family, for neighbors, and those who are living at far off distances. Even those can be influenced by the kind behavior, by the polite speech, and by the sensitive heart that Ramadan wants to create in the followers. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us opportunity to use this month for changing our behavior pattern and becoming more responsible, more sensitive persons with a sense of accountability.